all right, you could just keep sharing it like you've been doing from Philly and the Trenton.
Right.
Because my phone is it's not letting me do it. It keeps switching the camera back and forth, back and forth. I gotta get my screen fixed.
Sounds big on.
Okay.
You can just keep.
All right, that's the lot. So yeah, so you wanna and you gotta remember too, the people you teaching don't really know that much. So you gotta give them the milk, be straightforward to it. You don't wanna make things too complicated for someone.
Right.
So you wanna just basically listen. The Lord is telling you, not under the law, you under grace. Sin no more. He's telling you sin no more because he's letting you know there ain't gonna be no Levitical priest coming through to cut your head off for you sinning. But I'm gonna be the one to kill you now. So sin no more. I mean, so short and simple. Keep it short and simple. Bam. Okay. All right. So that's what the Most High is telling you. So was that the end of that? All right, give me Baruch 4:1 in the Apocrypha. Baruch 4:1 in the Apocrypha.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endureth forever.
The law that endures forever. The law endures forever. All right, this is the book of the commandments of God. The law endures forever because now you don't have no Levitical priest coming through to cut your head off to kill you for the sins you committed, right? But what you do have is the Most High sending death angels to come kill you now. You know, before the Levitical priest was the ones doing the work. Now that got snatched from them. So, you know, the people that's with the higher rank, now they just took on the job, which is the angels. So now instead of, you know, the Levitical priest finding out what's going on and finding out who did what and killing you, now the angels is going to be sent forth to kill you because now the Lord is watching you and he's like, yo, look, at some point you're going to have to pay for what you're doing. You're going to have to pay for what you're doing. Now let's say somebody go through their whole life committing sin and they die of old age. Somebody go their whole life, you know, a homosexual or something, or their last meal was a damn pork sandwich, or just anything. Die-hard Christian. They last words was they accept Caesar Borgia as their Lord and Savior, and they die of old age. Then what? Like, will the Lord still punish them?
In the regeneration.
Yep, 3 or 4 generations. The Lord is going, he can get you now, he can get you when you're a baby in your next life, he can get you when you're 80 years old in your next life. He can get you 3 lives after that. It really depends on when he want to get you. Just like the scripture say, don't worry about the punishments of sinners. The Lord is going to get them how he want to get them. That's just how he going to do it, however he want to do it. He want to get you as a baby. He want to get you as a grown man. He want to get you as an old person, an old woman, old man. He's going to get you. Finish that scripture.
All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
You leave these commandments and these laws that the Lord got to endure forever, you're going to die. But if you keep it, you shall come to life. You shall live now. You shall live. So I'm going to go into one milk scripture. Give me Matthew 5 and 17. This is straightforward. This is a milk scripture right here.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
Don't think that, Christ came to destroy the law. Meaning what? Hidayah?
No thinking.
He come to destroy the law, meaning what?
Get it out your mind.
Right, don't think that he come to destroy the law. Like, what's destroying the law?
Thinking is without faith. I don't think we could break commandments.
Right, like Christians think the law is destroyed. That's what they think. They think Christ came and destroyed the law, done away with it. Right? And you don't use it no more, don't need it, it's none effect. That's what Christians think. They think that he came to destroy the law. Christ said it 2,000 years ago.
Right.
Christ said 2,000 years ago, don't think I come to destroy the law. Why? Say that again? Oh, all right, sorry. All right, yeah. 2,000 years ago, they was walking around saying, oh, the Christ came to do away with the law. He came so we don't have to keep the law. To the point where Christ had to say, he had to have it documented in the scriptures saying he didn't do away with the law, because even back then they thought they didn't have to keep the law. Read on.
Come. Or the prophet.
Or the prophets, meaning what? This is something else Christians do, Christians say. They was doing this back then, which is why Christ had to say it back then. And it had to be documented in the scriptures of him saying this, because he knew the people that's going to read this 2,000 years from now is going to be going through the same thing, which is he didn't come to destroy the prophets, meaning what? What's destroying the prophets? Hidayah?
If I could, sir, to void out what Moses said in the first 4 books, to void out Joshua, Malachi, Zechariah, to make them non-effect.
And how do they do that? What you're saying is that's correct. Go ahead.
Oh, I'll tell you that. Oh, well, when Moses talked about homosexuality in Leviticus, that was the Old Testament.
Yeah. Their favorite word is, oh, that was the old. First of all, they ask you a question, right? They'll let you go to the book in Leviticus. Like, they would ask you something. God do love homosexuals. You would say, God don't love homosexuals. They would say, prove it. As you go to prove it, they see you go to Leviticus. Now, why is they about to let you read from Leviticus? Because they don't believe what you're saying is actually going to be in the Bible. So now, when you go to Leviticus and read homosexuals got to be put to death, they think you're going to read something else, and they can interpret it as it's not what you're saying. But Leviticus 20 and 13 is so straightforward that when you say, I'm going to go to Leviticus 20 and 13, they don't say, no, that's the Old Testament. You can't read from the Old Testament. They sit there quiet and say, and they be thinking, you don't know what you're about to read, because that's nowhere in the Bible. God is all love. Why would he, want to put homosexuals to death? So what they would do is here you say, I'm going to go to Leviticus 20 and 13, and they sit there quiet. You read the scripture, now it's, that's the Old Testament, because it says exactly what you said it said. You say God don't love homosexuals and they should be put to death. They don't even think God would ever say something like that. So they want you to go in the Bible and prove it. You go to the scripture, they let you read it, and when it says exactly what you said, now it's the Old Testament. That's how you destroy the prophets, by quoting something that Christ said, even though he quoted it from somebody in the Old Testament.
Right.
And that's what they don't know. Every law, every commandment that Christ quoted came from somebody in the Old Testament.
Right.
But they thinking Christ is quoting this because this is something he's saying, not knowing that he's getting this from what he was taught. So now it's like, what? God would never. And then you go read it now, oh, that's just the Old Testament. You destroying the prophets now. You destroyed the prophets before Christ. Christ had to come on the scene and say, don't think that I came to destroy the prophets. Because when I tell you something, you so unlearned and don't study, you would think what I'm saying couldn't have came from Moses, because Moses would never say this. When what I'm quoting came exactly from Moses. So when I come and I speak, don't think that I'm coming to tell you don't follow the prophets that came before me. That's not what I'm doing. Read.
Oh God, I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
He didn't come to destroy, but to fulfill. Meaning what? Amen. Say it again.
Like fulfill the things like the prophecies that were written of the Messiah.
Yeah, he came to fulfill the prophecies of him coming. He came to fulfill what else?
To do the law, sir.
Yep, he came to fulfill the law. How did he come to fulfill the law? You know?
Because he didn't sin. He didn't break any commandments.
That's it. That's one. And what else? How else did he fulfill the law? Did I?
Just to show that it can be done.
Right. Show you how to do it. More so. Not only that it could be done, but to show you how to keep the law, how to do the law. Because, see, back then they would read the law and they would read if somebody pluck out your eye, pluck their eye out. But they didn't understand that. So they would just read, oh, such and such took my eye out. The law say I gotta take your eye out too. Christ came to show you, listen, even though that brother took your eye out, you deserve it. I know you're gonna take his eye out, have some mercy. Because you done did a bunch of stuff that your eye should have been going, your arm, leg, head, everything. You should have been going a long time ago. But a bunch of people gave you mercy. So you're going to go what? Pluck this guy eye out. Now we're going to have a whole generation of people with one goddamn eye. Because everybody's plucking everybody's eye out. Who's going to be the person to say, you know what? Even though I should pluck your eye out, I'm not going to do it. What you did to me, just don't do it ever again. And we good.
It was so heavy, like that's like the same thing with the sister. You know, when they came up and accused the sister, they found her in the act of adultery. And it was so heavy when Christ said, you know, he is without sin, cast the first stone. It's like, y'all getting ready to kill their sister, but you're a homosexual. You're sleeping with that man's wife. Everybody here is a sinner. You're getting ready to condemn this sister for sin.
Right. Like, y'all about to kill this sister when y'all all is doing a bunch of wickedness.
Right.
Y'all should have been dead, but y'all not dead. Y'all alive to the point where y'all can come and kill this sister for something she did. How about this? Let her live for what she did. Give her a chance. Don't sin no more. Just don't do it no more.
Right.
We got a generation of people who nobody is saying, I'm gonna let you slide, just don't do it no more. Everybody is, well, the law say this. So I gotta cut your hand off. I gotta kill you. Where is the, all right, brother, maybe you just didn't know. I'm gonna just have mercy on you to the point where I'm gonna let you go this time. I caught you stealing my sheep. I caught you stealing. No, I'm not going to do what the law say, which is the punishment behind you stealing. You kept stealing. So guess what, brother? Just don't do it again. Because when I was in your situation, I stole too. I didn't get caught. Lord knows I should have got caught and I should have died for it. But because I didn't, now that you stealing, just don't steal no more. That's what Christ came to show. Christ came to fulfill that. He came to show that, you know, this brother was eating pork and he didn't know. Why kill him for it? You didn't know. He didn't know that it was wrong. How about you catch him eating that pork and you say, just don't eat it no more, brother. And you just walk away. Think of how strong and how, you know, great in the brotherhood, how the brotherhood of this nation would be. Knowing that this man I'm standing next to, I done did something to him. He could have killed me for it, but he let me live for it. I love it. I love this brother for that. Go ahead. You have your hand up, brother?
It's a precept from what you said. Ecclesiastes 28, verse 4. He shows no mercy to a man which is like himself, and do he ask forgiveness of his own sins. And that's like you bringing out, like God, Jesus teaching us to forgive one another the way the Lord forgave us.
That's perfect. That's a perfect precept. Like you not forgiving no brother for what he did, but when you sin, you begging for forgiveness. So when you beg for forgiveness and they forgive you, how about when this brother sinned against you, you forgive him? That's what Christ came to show, because before Christ, there was none of that. It was a bunch of, I know I did it, I shouldn't have did it, please forgive me. All right, you gonna forgive me? All right, cool. Nigga, what? All right, it was a bunch of, I was hungry, I know I shouldn't have stole, please forgive me. You know, please don't throw me in jail for stealing. All right, you gonna forgive me? All right, cool. 2 days later, nigga, why are you stealing from me? And then you kill him. He stole from me, that's why I killed him. Nigga, you just stole from somebody else and he let you go. Why didn't you say, damn, I just stole from such and such 2 days ago and they let me go, so you know what? Just go, man, just go. Just go. Just don't come back here no more. Don't come back no more. I'm telling you. Because the next time I catch you stealing, listen, just go. Just go, all right? How couldn't you do that? That brother might leave and be like, you know what? Come back and be like, I know I stole. Listen, I apologize. Like, you could create something, a bond from that. Or he might change his mind from going like, damn, that was a close call. And might want to switch up and help other people to not steal. And like, that's what Christ wanted you to do. But you got some men who don't forgive brothers for sinning, but want forgiveness for their sins. Nah, Christ came to show you the right way to do it. Finish, read that scripture. Read on. Oh no, Abahaya.
Okay. Verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall no wise pass from the law.
Till heaven and earth pass. Meaning what? What?
Until heaven is gone, until the earth is gone, the law is still going to be in effect.
In effect. So what is he trying to say? Because is the earth and is heaven ever going to be done away with? So what is he trying to say? The same. Go ahead, brother. And endures forever. That's what I was going to say. But is it the same as in Baruch chapter 4 and 1 we read? The law endures forever. Christ right here is quoting a precept that he read out of the Old Testament. You know, the law is here forever. Heaven and earth pass. He's telling you something that's never going to happen in a metaphor way to let you understand, damn, till heaven and earth pass. Well, that's going to be never. You know, Never, heaven and earth is ever going to pass. So is he saying the law, endure forever? Not one jot and one tittle? The line through the T or the dot above the I shall be undone. Meaning every single law going to get done, which makes it heavy. I never think about Christianity because what's another thing that they like to say? Christ right here is saying not one jot, one tittle shall pass from the law. Meaning every single law is going to be in effect as long as heaven and earth is here. And what do Christians like to say about the law? About keeping all law. I didn't make I gave it to y'all about keeping all the law. You know what I mean? I know you guys. So say it again. Yeah.
And he says it's impossible to keep the law.
Right. That's what I was looking for. Every Christian say, it's 600 and some plus laws. How can we keep all of them? Which I've never understood, right? When they say that. How can we keep all the laws? There's over 600 laws. How can we keep them all, right? They act like they read the law and they say, Deuteronomy 29 and 15, you must jump out of an airplane and live with no parachute. How the hell am I gonna do that, God? You must be able to grow a third leg. In the book of Psalms, to say you gotta grow a third leg and learn how to walk on it in 24 hours or you're a sinner. Now, how in the hell is that going to happen, God? Like, they act like these laws are so impossible. Like, to hear a Christian say that to an unlearned person would sound so smart. It would be like, 600 and what? You right. How in the hell can I keep 600 and what, 14, 15 laws? You, what? Nah, man. To hear that, it sounds perfect. But you would think they saying like it's some unbelievable laws in here that cannot get kept. It's like, yo, somebody yet to open up the Bible and say, read this law, and have me like, okay, that's impossible to keep. So how can we keep the law? How in the hell can we do this? No, this don't make no sense. Oh, shit. You know what? I'm going to get back. I'm going to bring this up in class. I'm going to get back to you. Come to class, ask the question. General, oh, shit. I don't know how can we keep. Like, nobody have yet to do that. But it's always, how can we keep the law? And then when you find out, they just eating shrimp or something. And it's like, yo, Red Lobster got a salad. That, oh, God, they, them crab cakes is, oh, God, they need the best crab cakes. Like, in their mind, how can I give up crab cakes? Or how can I give up cigarettes? Because I'm so stressed out when I smoke the cigarette or some weed for them little few hours, it helps. How in the hell can I, give up that? And their mind, that's impossible. But not knowing that they're talking to a person who can outsmoke Snoop Dogg. Like, didn't been there and done that. That's impossible for you, but it's not impossible. Because if it's impossible for you, but it's not impossible for somebody else, then that means it's not impossible for you to not stop doing it. Go ahead, you have your hand up, brother?
One time I was talking to my brother, it's lucky to do that. I was talking to my brother one time, and he was saying, like, that's a lot of laws to, like, follow in the kingdom. And I had to run it, like, subconsciously, people follow Esau laws without even knowing. And I want to read this if I could. It said, current estimates on the number of federal laws in America range anywhere between 15,000 and 50,000. And they rather be in a nation with more than 50,000 laws than 615.
And be able to keep that. And they would, listen, to keep Esau law, niggas are getting caught like, Your Honor, I didn't know. Please, I'm sorry I didn't know. I would never do it again. Take all type of programs and everything to show this judge that they never going to do that ever again. Some niggas come out of prisons and be lawyers and They know the law front to back. They in prison reading 15 law books and know every law in it. And it's about 15,000 laws. At least. And these niggas is like, yo, I'm not doing that. When I see a cop, I'm not doing that. Because that's against the law. I'm not doing that. But you willing to at least strive to not break any of these laws. But when it comes to the Bible, nigga, what? Get that out of my face, man. You talking about I can't eat no pork, man. I was hungry and the only thing I had in my fridge was pork. So I'm gonna eat it. Man, get the hell out of here, man. Like what Bootsy say? Man, how can God tell me not to eat pork when He's supposed to provide for me to eat? So how can you talk? You had your hand up your dog?
Constantly, you brought up so heavy. When I hear when they say, "Hey, get that out of here," what you mean I can't stop messing with whores? What you mean I can't stop smoking weed? You mean I can't, date outside my race and be a homosexual? All those things is legal in Esau. But the Lord say, don't do it. Now you gotta follow.
Now you gotta follow the laws of the land according to the Bible. Like now it's everything because in their mind, this is what feeds them and help them survive day to day. So it sounds crazy to give it up. Like to hear somebody say, God will kill you over eating shrimp. When you first hear it, you like, nigga, shut up. Like, what? It's shrimp. Why would God have a problem with some goddamn shrimp? That sounds crazy to tell to a person who grew up eating shrimp. Or to tell somebody they can't eat pork. When for the 50 years of their life, every Thanksgiving dinner they had pork. Like, so these things seem impossible because it's like, yo, you telling this to people who got 10 plus years into what you telling them what they doing is wrong. And they like, yo, how is this wrong? Nigga, when I light that blunt up, when I pop them pills and drink that lean, listen, when I'm stressed out and I go with that whore, I feel good afterwards. How in the hell is that wrong? In their mind, sin is something that they do and make them feel bad. Like they so programmed to the point where they can murder somebody and can't sleep at night, waking up in cold sweats. Because self-consciously it's like, oh my God, I did something bad. I did something bad. God don't like this. I shouldn't have did this. So now they go to the rest of their life, hunted because they done did something that they feel as though God don't like. Because they've been programmed like that. They murder somebody, nigga look at them wrong, step on his shoes or whatnot, shoot the brother, kill him, and they paranoid and they never the same as long as they live. Can't sleep, like you just know there's something wrong with them when they took a life. Because in their mind, not only that they say God they feel as though it's in the Ten Commandments, God is against that. They also feel as though I'm gonna go to jail for this. Like they fear Esau laws more than they fear the Most High laws. Yeah, God say He's gonna send me to hell for murdering this person. They don't give a damn about dying and going to hell. They don't. Most of them don't even really believe that. What they fear the most is the cops catching me, and I got to spend the rest of my life in jail. And then the view to just see the brother when I just shot him and did this, and now they just can't sleep. They mentally messed up, and it's just like, they fear the laws of the land more than they fear the laws of the Most High. So it's like self-consciously, that's just how they program. So to hear somebody say, don't eat shrimp. Like, nigga, if I eat this shrimp, I'm not going to wake up in cold sweats because I ate this goddamn shrimp. I'm not going to be paranoid because they more paranoid of taking a life or robbing somebody, stealing somebody. They more paranoid about Esau coming to get them. When Esau not going to come kicking my door if I eat some goddamn shrimp. Nigga, they sell pork in the market. When I go buy this pork, take it home, cook it, and eat it, I'm not going to bed feeling guilty about it. How in the hell you going to tell me God is against that? But when I took that brother life, I went to bed feeling guilty about it. I feel as though God is against that. When you don't feel God is against that, really, Esau coming to get your ass And that's what you're scared of the most. Every day you living in abandoned houses, jumping from family to family, cribs and all that. You stealing cars, traveling across state. You think you living in your different houses and living in abandoned houses is to hide from God? Hell no. God see you in there. You hiding from Esau, the so-called oppressor. That's who you really hide from because that's who you fear. You know, so telling a person eating some shrimp or some crabs and all that is insane. That's impossible to them to give up. And part of the reason it's impossible because it sounds so stupid to them. They look at it. God say don't eat shrimp. You won't. Nigga, that's stupid. Get out of here with that. I'm never giving that up. That's impossible. Like they make it impossible for themselves to keep it. Read on.
Verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
He shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. If you shall break one of these least commandments and teach men so, you're going to be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. Which let you know it's still consequences for breaking the law. It's still consequences. You're going to be least in the kingdom of heaven. All Israel shall be saved. You're going to make the kingdom of heaven. But guess what? Somebody going to have to hook up the cable. Somebody going to have to walk the dogs. Somebody going to have to mow the lawn. Somebody going to have to wash your car. You worth 60 billion sitting on a goddamn throne getting fed food. 1 million women. You think, yeah, you got it. You think you getting up to go wash your goddamn car? Hell no. Who gonna do it? Al Sharpton. Yo, get Al Sharpton. I know this is day off. Tell him to come in real quick. I need something done. I need something done. He can have off the Saturday. I need something done. I gave him 3 days off this week. 2 days should be good. Hey, yo, call the electrical company and see if you can talk to Eddie Long. Tell Eddie Long to come out and hook up my cable. He should be working with me, right? All right, cool. Somebody's going to have to do it. It's not going to be an oppression for them, but they're not going to be in the kingdom of heaven living like you. They're not going to live like you forever. You know, when you pass, your son going to live like that, and everybody out of your lineage is going to live that same way until you come back in the reincarnation. And that trash man, all of that, listen, he going to live like that forever. You're going to be the least in the kingdom of heaven. It ain't no one day rule. You know who going to rule? The men that's putting in the work right now.
Right.
Men that's teaching these classes, that's teaching at camps, that's helping these brothers get off these drugs. The men that's sweeping the floor in here, doing that, mopping the floor. Men that's printing up signs. They the ones that ain't gonna be the least in here. Men that's working their way up, putting in their brick. They ain't gonna be the ones. But you know who's gonna be the least in the kingdom of heaven? The people that's eating shrimp, crab, and lobster and telling men they can do the same. You're gonna be the least in the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
People gonna see you and know what you did. Damn, he must have had something back then. He must have had a church 2,000 years ago. Damn, his whole family is just a bunch of maintenance people. Yeah, he probably was a wizard man. He probably was a trash man back then. But they still gonna live good. It ain't gonna be no struggle. It ain't gonna be no struggle in the kingdom of heaven for Israel.
Right.
There can be no struggle. You just gonna look at the men sitting on them thrones and ruling. You gonna be like, damn, I wish that was me. Look at all that gold on the Bahaya. Man, this thing got gold glasses, gold rims, gold car, gold necklaces. It's goddamn Cattle got gold hooves on it. God damn, I wish that was me. He say one thing and they come around. He got 40 women flocking after him. Damn, I wish that was me. Could have been you. But you told men to, keep the least of the law. Read on.
How about? But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Whosoever shall do the law and teach the law,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Now, if the law was done away with, why is Christ saying, if you teach men the law, and if you do the law, you're going to be called great in the kingdom of heaven. I was going to walk by like, damn. I used to say that nigga was crazy. Standing on the corner, yelling. Now look at him. They run the whole east side of wherever. Nigga on. He run 15 states. And I used to say that nigga was crazy and didn't know what the hell he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I ridiculed him when he stumbled over a word or anything. Now look at this. Cut my checks. Damn, I wish that was me. Yeah, because while you was standing out there hugging white people and kissing white people and dancing and all that, out there with a pork sandwich, eating it in front of the prophet, showing them, nigga, I don't care what y'all saying. This man was standing up there telling them not to eat it. Right? He was standing up there telling them not to eat it. Because that, he wasn't eating it. He was keeping the law. He was teaching men to keep the law. And he got a whole bunch of people to, stop sinning and keep the law. He's going to be great. He's going to be great. That's what made this school so lovely, man, because from the days of you being a young man, you taught how to move, how to work it, what to do. You got to understand, from a young man to a trooper to an officer, captain, general, everybody, like even for young men and troopers, right? You got your family watching you. You got your family watching you. You got to move a certain way because they watching you and waiting to see if you're going to mess up. Yeah, it sounds good what you're saying about, I'm talking about people. People about the waters. The what? You got people watching you. You got people watching you. And there's lives that's going to come into the truth because of you, based off how you move. What other organization in school teach you how to move around people and show them a better way of life? Like, what other people do that? You teaching people how to get off drugs, how to, stop eating certain things, and what to do to make your life better, and how to fight certain demons, and how to just conquer a bunch of things and overcome certain things. Like you being watched too. Like that is glorious, and that's what made this school so glorious, man. That's what made this school so glorious, man, because we raising you up to where you can think, you in a situation you can think, oh, yeah, I did hear them in class say this, so this is what I'm doing. Okay, he asked me that question. I did hear the teacher say this, so I'm going to repeat that. Repeat it back and have that person, God damn, it makes sense. And then you start off with you coming to class. Now you got your homie coming, 2 homies coming, 3 homies coming. Before you know it, you put all these men in, you're a young man, trooper officer, you got 50 people under you that you're boarding. I mean, that's glorious. All these people that you're saving. That's what makes it so glorious. I'll finish that scripture if there's any more. That was it on that? You gotta read that statistics, what I sent to you. Because just like I said, this is the law class, right? So we tend to say a lot that we lead in every category. And this is just some of the proof that I wanted to bring out in certain categories. that we lead in. Of course, the whole world knows that Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans is the most affected by the coronavirus as of today. Any disease or plague that get put out there, everybody know that Black people, when I say Black people, I mean Black, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Indians. Black people been affected by it the most. By far, they've been affected by it. So here's just some other statistics that I'm going to go into to prove, you know, Black people is affected by it. And it's no coincidence. Read that, Yedaya?
Black and African Americans, selected Black and African Americans in the United States representing 12.4% of the population. Hispanics and Latino Americans are the largest ethnic minority, comprising an estimated 17.8% of the population. By race and ethnicity, African Americans and Hispanics/Latinos are disproportionately affected by HIV.
Now, listen to them numbers. Black people was what, 12%? And Latinos was what, 17? Of the population in America. 12 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, 29%? Like 29%. Throw the Native American Indians in there, I think they get into that, the percentage. Put it together, that's like what, 35% of America with 3 different races mixed together. So the other 60%, 65%, whatever, is all other races that's not Israel. And we beating all of them in HIV and AIDS. Read that one more time.
By race and ethnicity, African Americans and Hispanics, Latinos are disproportionately affected by HIV.
By race and ethnicity.
Ethnicity.
Ethnicity, I don't even know. Ethnicity. I ain't gonna keep trying to say that word. We are what?
Disproportionately affected by HIV.
Read on.
Blacks, plus African Americans, account for a higher proportion of the new HIV diagnosis and people living with HIV compared to other races and ethnicities. In 2017, blacks plus African Americans accounted for 13% of the U.S. population, but 16,694 of the 38,739 new HIV diagnoses in the United States and dependent areas.
So blacks damn near make up half of the accounts for the people living with HIV in America. I mean, other races get it. That's possible. But the fact that blacks are the smallest, they are affected the most, like every other thing. Like every other disease or plague, we are affected the most. Read on.
Gay and bisexual men of the population most affected by HIV. In 2017, gay and bisexual men accounted for 66%, 25,748 of all HIV diagnoses, 82% of the diagnoses among males.
Read that one more time.
Gay and bisexual men are the population most affected by HIV.
Gay and bisexual men of this HIV population amongst blacks are most affected by the HIV, 85%. And the other percentage is, of course, people getting affected because they dealt with a gay lover at some point, or a woman and had sex with a gay or bisexual man, and got passionate. Like, it's just crazy. So either way, all this whole, they letting you know that HIV all come from homosexuality. Read.
In 2017, gay and bisexual men accounted for 66%, 25,748 of all HIV diagnoses, and 82% of them diagnosing among males.
82%. Read.
That was it.
That was it. Give me Leviticus 20 and 13. Here's why the blacks and Hispanics and Native American Indians are needed in these categories. It's 1, 2, and 3. Blacks, and then it's Hispanics, and then it's like Native Americans. Read Leviticus 20 and 13.
Okay. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 13. If a man also lies with mankind,
If a man lies with a man, read.
as he lies with a woman,
If he lies with another man, the same way he lies with a woman, read.
both of them have committed an abomination.
Both of them have committed an abomination. Both of the men committed an abomination. What's an abomination? You got it?
I'm gonna say something unheard of, something disgusting, foul.
Yep. A disgusting act. You're doing something that's very disgusting in the Most High eyes. A hateful act. Two men doing this is a hateful act, and it's very disgusting in the Lord's eyes. Read.
Okay. They shall surely be put to death.
And you shall surely be put to death. Why is it saying surely be put to death?
Saying it will happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen. You're going to die for this. You're going to die for doing this. This is in the law. You sleep with another man, you're going to die. You're going to die for this. You shall surely be put to death. Read.
Their blood shall be upon them.
The blood is going to be upon them. Their blood shall be upon them. Why is it saying their blood shall be upon them?
AIDS is a blood disease, sir.
That's one. And what's another one? Why their blood will be upon them? Hello? Go ahead.
I would say that's their cost, that's their wage, their blood.
Right, hold on. When, tonight? Wow. All right. All right, bye. Okay. Bye. All right, so I'll be right there.
Their blood shall be upon them.
Yeah, the blood shall be upon them, meaning that the cause of their death is going to be because of them, not nobody else. Like, you know, this is a hateful act. You know, the Lord hate this. So by you dying, that's because of you. Your blood is going to be on you. It ain't, your blood is not going to be on nobody else's hands but yourself. And HIV is a blood, you know, type disease. Is that it on that? All right, get me Romans 1 and 26.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 1, and verse 26. For this cause, God gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature.
This even talking about the women too. The natural use that's against nature. You know, it's natural and it's of nature for a woman to have sex with a man and bring forth children. But they changing that. They sleeping with each other. They out here telling people you don't need a man to, you know, have a baby. You're changing a natural use. Read on.
Oh God. Verse 27. And likewise, also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman.
The men doing the same thing, leaving the natural use of the woman. Read.
Burn in their lust, one toward another.
They burn it in they lust one towards another. In they lust one towards another. So they lusting after each other, man. Why do it say it's burning and they burning in they lust?
Woman, you said, why does it say they're burning their lust?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because it's like they killed them to 100%.
Say it again.
They killed them to 1%, like they really like passionate.
Yeah, like it's burning them in the inside. It's like, oh, I gotta do it. Like they burning in they lust. Like it's just so hot in them that it's like, yo, I have to sleep with another man. Like it's just burning them up to just do it. Read.
Men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves the recompense of their error which was meet.
Men with men, letting you know, working with, you know, each other, doing that which unseemly. Like there's two men doing this with each other and it's unseemly. Like this is not natural. This is something that they shouldn't be doing with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't be doing with each other. Read.
Oh God. Verse 28. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind.
Reprobate mind. They ain't even want to learn about God and their knowledge. They don't even give a damn about learning about the Most High. So he gave them over to a reprobate mind. What's a reprobate mind?
Our mind is always thinking contrary to the Lord.
Yeah, it's a more, look up the definition. It's a more direct definition. Go ahead.
Reprobate, an unprincipled person, often used humorously or affectionately, a sinner who is not of the elect and is predestined to damnation.
Yeah, so it's just somebody who got no principles, who don't give a damn about nothing. They just do what they want. The Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind. Go ahead, just do what you want, do what you feel, until it's your day to die. The Lord gave them over to that. Read.
Oh God. To do those things which are not convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 29.
They all doing something that is not convenient. They're doing something that's unseemly, everything. The Lord is letting you know He's running down a list of things that these, you know, homosexuals do that He don't approve of. He just gave them over to a reprobate mind. Read.
Being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, verse 30, backbiters, haters of God,
They're
despiteful,
going into all the things that they do too. Letting you know that, listen, the Most High, you know, in the Old Testament, whether they want to say it or the New Testament, the Lord is not with it. He's gonna punish you for it. Yeah, you're not under the law, you're under grace, but guess what? The Most High still has a time limit of however He want to do it, set up to where as though once that time run out and you still doing that, guess what? You did. He's going to send them evil angels amongst you that's going to carry out His will. They're going to cause fierce and indignation. They're going to destroy you like it's nothing. That's what they're going to do. Yeah, I just sent you something else. Whenever it comes through, just read it for me. Sure.
High blood pressure. African Americans are at increased risk for high blood pressure. African American high blood pressure also develops early in life and usually more severe.
It develops early in life. Meaning you can get high blood pressure as a baby. I know somebody who had high blood pressure since they was like 4 and recently died from it. And they had high blood pressure since they was 4. Like it was something that ran into it ran in their family, and it was just passed down to them. This baby was born 4 years later, high blood pressure. You can, if you black, you can develop high blood pressure at a very early age. You don't hear about no Chinese, white, Indian babies with high blood pressure at 4. But it's a good chance, you know, you're going to have a 4-year-old baby on dialysis, cancer, chemo, you know, just high blood pressure, all that at 4. You're like, yo, all you eat is goddamn formula or something, or whatever they feed you. Like that's crazy for a baby that young to just have it. But they develop this early. Read.
Diabetes. People of different racial and ethnic groups are more likely to develop type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and a stroke. African Americans and Mexican Americans have a higher risk for those deadly diseases.
When they say Mexican, they add in all the Latino tribes in there. They say Mexican American. They add Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Cubans, all those type of tribes in there. Read.
Have a higher risk for those deadly diseases.
And they have a higher risk to catch those deadly diseases. They growing up with it. Some of them, it takes months or years for them to find out that they even have it. They've been living with it for so long. It's just natural. Read.
This is partly because of these populations are more likely to be overweight. They have high blood pressure and have type 2 diabetes.
Overweight. That's not it. They're trying to give excuses. Maybe because the population of the blacks is overweight. The Mexicans, Americans, and all that is overweight. Please, you see some of these TV shows, My 600-Pound Life, all these goddamn oppressors on there, Edomites. It can't be because this is happening because you try to say it's just a race full of big motherfuckers. That's not it. That's not it. Of course, you know, they think that. Read.
Oh, that was it.
That was it on that?
Yeah, it's cutting off. Like you said it, but
right.
The other half is cut.
All right, that's the law. Get me Isaiah 56 and 10. Isaiah 56 and 10. Because for them to think that the law is done away with, we get a pass, and when Christ come back, that's when we stop sinning. You know, that's the reason that we in the situation. And you know, some people really have they really sincere about finding the Lord, and they go try to seek Him out just to find out that, you know, it's somebody that's making them comfortable with the lifestyle that they live in, making them comfortable with it. You don't have to make any changes. When this person is coming to you for change because they know it's something that they doing and they ain't living right, something got to change. Just for you to tell them, listen, you can live the way you live in, just believe in God. Who got what I asked for?
Oh God. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 56, and verse 10. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs.
His watchmen are blind. Who is his watchman? Abahaya?
The religious leaders, sir?
Right.
Yep. They all blind. They dumb dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it saying dumb dogs? Young man now?
Like, they're not doing what they're supposed to do. And the Lord's supposed to protect the house.
Right. They dumb. Like they see danger and they just looking like they're not even gonna warn nobody.
Right.
They just gonna watch it happen and all that. Like I seen an advertisement for this security camera, and they showed a burglary in process that was in progress that was caught on a little digital camera. It was a hidden camera. It was a dog just sitting there. They kicked the door in, ran in and started grabbing stuff, and the dog just sitting there. I'm like, what the hell good is the dog if he can't even bark or chase him off? And he just watching him. He just sitting there like he ain't even budge or nothing. Like that's how our religious leaders are. You know, they see stuff happening and they just sitting there.
Right.
And in fact, they just push it even more on us.
Mm-hmm.
And they, you know, teaching us things that they know is destroying us. We lead in every category. A person with HIV come in for help, and they're going to tell them, God got you protected, just keep having sex. A person with high blood pressure is going to come in for help because they feel as though they in this condition because of God, and the pastor is going to tell them, listen, you just got to pray more. He's not going to tell them that they diet of all that goddamn pork you eating is the reason you in the condition you in. He ain't going to tell them that. He a dumb dog. A person come to him in danger, he sees it, and he don't even warn him. He don't say, well, look, you got to cut that pork out. That's why this happening. What he do is, oh, you got to pray more. Pray over the pork before you eat it. Make sure you saying your grace. Say your grace. God is going to eventually bless you. You know, they dumb dogs. No bark, no bite, no nothing, no protection or whatnot. You just useless. You just here now because I like you. I like dogs that much and I just keep you around, but you no good for anything else. Who want that? Read.
They cannot bark.
They cannot bark. Barking what? Warns you. This dumb dog don't bark. He don't warn you that trouble is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
Sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber.
They sleep and lying down. Every time you look at these dumb dogs, they sleep. They love to slumber. Meaning what? Brother George Floyd get murdered. The whole world get into an uproar. Here come these dummies that sleep. They're gonna come and try to talk to the mass of the people and the congregation of people to get them to not feel the way that they feel. The whole world in the uproar because of the murder of his brother. He was murdered unjust. Unjustly he was murdered. Just for these dumb dogs who just love to sleep and just come out and say, hey, it ain't that bad. Listen, it ain't that bad. Just forgive them. We can move forward. I talked to him. We got a plan. This is the plan. This is what's going to happen for the community. Nah, they just love to sleep. They just love to sleep, to get people to follow their plan, just for people to just turn against them and be like, yo, this was the dumbass idea. This was a very dumb idea for me to listen to this guy. Because this guy clearly don't know what he's doing. All he is about is us not getting violent against them. Read.
Oh God. Verse 11. Yes, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough.
They greedy dogs, which can never have enough. They greedy. You never can have enough. No matter how much somebody feeds you, you always want to eat because you're greedy. And that's how our religious leaders are today. Like no matter how much money they got, they just never satisfied. Never satisfied. Read that one more time.
Oh God. Yes, they are greedy dogs.
They greedy dogs. Read.
Which can never have enough.
Never have enough. Like they don't know when they should stop. They want to, just a greedy dog don't know when they should stop. And that's the same thing with these religious leaders, man. They don't know when to stop. They stealing money from this charity, this church. They doing a lot of fraudulent activity. They just don't know when to stop. And they using their church as a way to get away with it. They just don't know when to stop. They just greedy dogs taking all your money, regardless of your situation. Read.
They are shepherds that cannot understand.
They shepherds, man, that can't understand. Read.
They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain.
They look to their own way. This is why they're in charge, because the people that hire them to be in charge notice that these niggas is never going to hear out these people in the hoods going crazy. They just going to do everything their own way. And whatever way they do it is going to be wrong and it's going to hurt the community even more, so let them do it. Read.
Everyone for his gain.
Everyone for his gain. Everything that they do and everyone that they talk to is all about them getting money out. All about. Read.
From his quarter. Verse 12. Come ye, say they, I will fetch wine, and we will fill ourselves with strong drink. And tomorrow shall be as this day, and much more abundant.
Give me 2nd Ezra 6:54.
Oh God. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 54.
We're going to end it with this. Read.
And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of them come we all.
Everybody come from Adam. Read.
And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Why is it saying everybody comes from Adam and the people also whom thou hast chosen? And
To let you know the distinction between everybody and the chosen people.
yep, he's making a difference. Like it's a difference between his chosen people and the other nations. Read.
Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
Yeah, keep reading.
Verse 56. As for the other people, which also come of Adam.
Who is the other people?
Everybody not included in the 12 tribes.
Yep, everybody, not including in the 12 tribes, and they all come from Adam. Read.
God has said that they are nothing,
The Most High said that they are nothing. Read.
but be like unto spittle.
Be like unto spittle. The Most High said they nothing and they be like unto spittle. Spittle is spit. Where did he say that these other nations was like unto nothing? What's the precept? Isaiah 40 and 15.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 40 and verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket.
The nations are as a drop of a bucket. Meaning you got a whole bucket full of waters. Nations is just a drop of the bucket. They nothing. Read. You lose a drop out of a bucket, it don't mean nothing. That's how the other nations are. Read.
Come will come. And are counted as the small dust of the balance.
And they counted as a small dust of the balance. They just dust. It's dust of the balance. The balance is the scale. The dust that sit on that, man, that's what they accounted as. They nothing. The Most High is thinking that every little thing possible and comparing them to that. Like, yo, they is nothing. Read.
Come will come. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing.
Go back to second address. You can drop that.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 56 in the middle. But be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. Verse 57.
A drop that falleth from a vessel. You making a vessel, you know, a drop fall on the floor, you ain't gonna make no big deal about that. You know, read.
Verse 57. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us.
Lords over us, man. And that goes for the Jewish community too. Scripture saying that these heathens that was counted as nothing be lords over us. So the lords over whoever's ruling right now is lords over God's chosen people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the scripture is saying.
Right.
They lords over us. If the world is for our sake and is, you know, the other nations is nothing, guess what? You know, the people that's counted nothing to us is lords over us. They ruling us. Well, you know, like, damn, these people that's nothing, they like spit. They ruling over us. Read.
Our God. And to devour us. Verse 58. But we thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent loving are given into their hands. Verse 59. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure?
Mm-hmm. So you can drop that and do that. We're going to end the class right there. You can pass the class over to the priest and the officer with diary.
The priest and officer down the aisle with a strong hand. Right. All right. That being said, we got K, Charlotte 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana, rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister come to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. And after that 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe is the commandment. You can read about that in the book of Numbers, chapter 18 and verse 21. In the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Ma'ishwa, Hebrew, 10% of every penny of the increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department. Priest fund, free walk for the priest, not mandatory. What's up my side to give? Up and coming holy convocations will be the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets, the first day of the 7th month, Thursday, November 17, 2020. And you can read about that in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 24 and 25. Remind all I keep not go out to the bulletin board in the hallway. If any brother wants to be a trooper in school, start wearing all black, blue shirt, headband, and stuff. And with that, I advise you to meet the stand. We'll pull out the thumbs, we turn to face the east. We're going to set up a couple of prayers. All right. Over the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Avanel. Shabbat Shemayim. Hadash. Hayah. Shemtah. Yahawah. Malakoka. Baba'ah. Batazayaka. Hayah. Aisha. Barataza. Kawok. Hayah. Hashemayim. Evanadal. Yawok. Asalakana. Kabawakna. Kasalakna. Kabawakna. Wala'ah. Kaba'ayna. On the side of wall. Above. Haushayna. Ayah. Ra. Kaya. Lakat. Amalaka. Wala'ah. With the car. Alayim. In the English.
Our Father,
Father,
which art in heaven,
hallowed
be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth. As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
Forgive us our debt.
Forgive us our debt.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not. Into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
You want to do the prayer to bless Israel? Yahawah. Hashem. Yahweh Shah. Rakana. Yasha'ala. Safari. Barak. I'm about to say the name of the loved ones, and we're going to repeat their names. We're going to go in rank order. There you go. Babayah. My father. My mother. Good.
All destroyed of Israel.
Done. Allah is up. If you got any loved ones you want to pray for, you say.
All of Israel.
Done. That's it.
None.
Young man.
All of Israel.
All of Israel.
None.
By Hashem Yahushua.
By Hashem Yahushua.
The water. He said, "With the Lord and Eddie Yahushua, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahushua, thank you. So be it. Son, return. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amadu Shabbat. Admaju. Barak. Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, Barak. Yahshua Matah.